What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about the Void Tower, the two kings of the Void Tower. This is day 2 now. We've had quite a bit of time to play around with some of the best champions, and I'm going to highlight the two that really stand out amongst the others. This is for speed runs, however you can use these champions in whatever difficulty you are doing. So let's get into it and let's go over which champions those are. Now, as I am talking about this, keep in mind, once again, this is day 2, so all of this information is going to be applicable to content up to stage 20, and we are in the hard difficulty of the tower. I know I am covering the difficulty tab, but this is hard. What this means is this covers hard in every single stage of normal, all the way up to stage 119. Because if you don't have the information available to you, there is a sheet showing you the level of the champions, the bonus stats those champions are given, and the hardest floor being 119 of the normal Doom Tower is equivalent to just under the first stage of the hard Doom Tower. So now that we've gone over that, let's go over what champions we're talking about. We'll start with the first floor, and as we can see, we have Baron, who's going to be the king here, and I have 2 Dracomorphs. Now, what is so good about Baron? I've done a video on Baron probably when I first started YouTube 7 or 8 months ago, and he's an amazing champion. He brings so much to the team, and he's really good in progression situations like this. However, he does have to be manual. What we're going to do first is we're just going to slowly go through this run here to show you exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to start with the defense down and weaken from Dracomorph, get some damage onto a target. Now the A1 is the key here, and we'll just see that surplus damage spreading throughout everybody. And now pretty much you just repeat this on through the other stages, and I believe I saw, okay, this right here, Sky Piercer, insane amount of damage, and this is why I didn't need to defense down or weaken this wave at all. That's an awesome one shot that you can always expect. Going to the final stage here, once again debuffing the champions, we will hit one of our Jotun buddies here just to reduce the health, then go ahead for that A1 and watch the surplus damage just wipe out that entire wave. Now, I did mention this was a manual key. I'm going to do it as I did for the 11-second run. We're going to start off with the A1 here, using that surplus damage to our advantage here. There we go. Now we did proc that hidden skill. We can just do that. And there you have it. 12 seconds, a little bit slower than my best time, which was 11 seconds, but still, he does a ton of damage and he's a lot of fun to play with. I will go over the gear, but just to see how we did according to other players, and we're going to the global rankings. So right here I am pretty much tied. I did it first, but I'm tied for first with our Infinite here, who's literally a computer. And as you probably can assume by saying Infinite's team here with Zargala, Ithos, and Kaimar. Ithos is that second king, and we will go over that in a second. But now that we've seen this, let's go over some other stages and see what I did. Like on stage 2 here, also I had 12 seconds. Ithos does in fact have the faster animations, which is why there are 2 kings here, one being Baron, one being Ithos. But still, Baron definitely gets the job done. And like I said, this isn't just for speed farming. If you want to use a 5-man team around this for some of the harder stages that we're going to see as we keep progressing, that's definitely an option. As we can see in this run, I tied for 11 seconds, and another one of our clanmates, Ron, actually used 4 champions with Bistophis as well as a Bess, and actually squeezed out a 1 second faster time. So now that we've gone over that, let's go over how you can use someone like a Baron to your advantage. So if you're not aiming for speed times like this, how can you use this champion? So as I already showed you with his A1, the fact that it's an A1 ability means he doesn't need a champion like a Kaimar or whoever else refreshing his cooldowns. So if you're progressing through this, a really safe way to do it with someone like a Baron is to have lots of champions who apply a defense down or a defense down and a weaken ability, and have them be able to chip away at the health a little bit of your champions, so Baron can come in last in your rotation, use that A1 and clear the wave. This is definitely the safest route to go progression wise. If you want to throw a reviver in there, you can definitely do that as well. But as far as initially clearing each stage, if it is becoming quite difficult, and as we will see and I will talk about in an overall guide for the Doom Tower, it's definitely going to get extremely difficult. So you can use someone like Baron to your advantage in that sense, as long as he's able to actually get a turn each and every single round. That's what makes him the king of the Doom Tower. And now let's go over what my clanmate Infinite is using with his team, the monster of a champion that is Ithos. Unfortunately, on my main account I don't have it. On my YouTube account I do have 4 of them, but since Infinite has these incredible times, I thought why not get a clip of him using Ithos, 1 normal time, 1 in 1 time speed, so we can really go over what this champion has to offer you. Alright, so here we have the clip of Ithos. Let's watch it in all of its glory. Defense down, reset cooldown, the A2 from Ithos, defense down again, A2 once again from Ithos, really quick animations which makes him so strong, and finally that monster of a hit A3. This was done on his phone, and obviously based on the device you use, the settings you use, and graphics on your computer, that dictates the time heavily on this, which is why we see 11 seconds best and 12 seconds on this run. But Ithos is an absolute monster, and you can use him not the same way as Baron, however it's quite similar in theory. So let's take a look at this run in 1 time speed. This is stage 19, which is the hardest available outside of a boss stage. And one thing about Ithos kit that a lot of people miss is they see this, you don't need critical rate for his A3 ability. However, his A2 hits so hard, it would be foolish not to build him with 100% crit rate. And Infinite is the perfect example of how this actually works. So even in 1 time speed, he was able to complete this run in 20 seconds. He's using Baron, however, he's only using Baron for the attack aura. Krutroxa also here, not doing anything in his run, probably serving as some type of bad luck protection for this team. Also adding additional champions does in fact affect the turn meter of the enemies, and that's a whole separate topic, but the main point here is Ithos here with someone like a Ghostborn who provides that attack up. Also, this being reset over and over again by Prince Kaimar. Ithos is a really strong champion, why he is the 2nd king of progression as far as the Doom Tower goes. If I had to make an educated guess, I would say Baron and Ithos are going to work up until about stage 50 as far as consistency goes. I'm progressing through either normal or hard, with brute force here, maybe adding a reviver as mentioned earlier to kind of give you a safeguard in case you are going to fail any of these runs. Now with that being said, what I want to do next is I want to show you how I geared my Baron so you can kind of see what it takes to one-shot all of your opponents. Now you won't need as good of gear as I'm showing you here. The gear I'm using here is simply for speed farming, and the quality can be much less if you're just looking to progress through at a very solid and safe way. Starting off with Baron, obviously savage gear, cruel gear. Total stats, we're looking at 5.7 thousand defense, 164 speed, which isn't enough speed to always go first. In the first 2 rounds, it is going to ramp up higher, so I'm going to have to sacrifice either speed, start using a speed aura instead of his attack aura, so on and so forth. We have 100 crit rate, 267 crit damage, which is cool. And as far as masteries go, we are using Helm Smasher. I don't have his mastery tree finished because it's not needed. This is simply for going as fast as possible. Now, in case you were curious, the only skills I've been using personally are the A1 for that surplus damage, as well as the Sky Piercer, which is a chance to proc. Now, if you're going for a sustain build, the A3 has the highest chance of proccing Sky Piercer at 40%, which is different than the 10% from the A1. And finally, the A2, which is an irresistible defense down on 1 target, is a 20% chance of unlocking that secret skill Sky Piercer. One important thing that I have done that I haven't showed you yet in this video is an awesome pair to someone like a Baron is an ally attack champion. You can get your enemies low, and Baron wants to use his A3 first to try and proc that skill. You can use ally attack, have Baron hit with the A1, surplus and kill the entire wave, and then starting in on the next wave, he's going to open with that Sky Piercer, one-shotting that entire wave. Now the question is, for those of you who don't know about Baron, what's so important about Sky Piercer? As we can see, attacks all enemies, deals pure damage, and this specific wording hasn't been anywhere in the game before. Pure damage means pure damage, like without getting technical, it means it hits really, really hard. and even without a defense down or a weaken, suboptimal gear, he's going to one-shot pretty much every content in this game that isn't a boss or a mini-boss. So Baron here on top of someone like an Ithos who has very high multipliers with his A2 and his A3. They're both Void champions. You don't have to worry about weak affinities, which is definitely going to be a big thing here. That's why these two champions take the crown for the Kings of the Doom Tower as far as progression goes up to the earlier stages. Now it is very possible after stage 50 all the way up to stage 119 in hard that another champion does kind of take the spotlight there and outshine the way. I'll definitely go over that when we get to those stages. However, everything up to stage 50 in hard, and including the entirety of the normal tower as far as wave goes, Baron and Ithos are going to be the kings in that respect. So now what I want to know from you guys is, what do you guys think about this? Were these the two champions that you expected to be on this list? Do you think another champion or another pair of champions shines just as well as these champions? Let me know in the comments. Who are you using? What are you guys using to your success while you've been going through here so far? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this new content as much as I am, since it's been quite some time since we've seen anything new. As always guys, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells so you don't miss my next video. And I will see you all in my next upload.